Imagine a man so consumed by violence, so devoid of remorse, that even from behind prison walls, he openly declared his intention to kill again. Not as a threat, but as a calculated strategy to escape the electric chair. This isn't fiction. This is the chilling reality of Henry Brisbon, a man dubbed the personification of evil, whose reign of terror culminated in the brutal murder of fellow inmate Richard Hippie Morgan. Tonight, on Calendar of Crime, we delve into the dark psyche of the I-57 killer and the shocking crime that sealed his fate. Before we unravel this disturbing narrative, take a moment to hit that like button, share this episode with fellow true crime enthusiasts, and if you haven't already, subscribe to Calendar of Crime so you don't miss future investigations into the darkest corners of human history. Henry Brisbon's path to infamy began disturbingly early. At just 10 years old, he committed his first act of extreme violence, stabbing his 8-year-old cousin during a childhood argument. This wasn't an isolated incident, but a grim prelude. By 16, he faced charges of rape and armed robbery. A year later, a murder charge was filed against him, only to be dropped. Yet, within weeks of that charge being dismissed, Brisbon unleashed a spree of unimaginable horror that would forever brand him as the I-57 killer. June 3, 1973, marked a day of terror along Interstate 57 in Illinois. Brisbon's modus operandi was as cold as it was calculated, intentionally ramming his car into passing motorists, then ambushing them when they stopped to assess the damage. His victims included Betty Lou Harmon, 29, whom he forced to climb naked through a barbed wire fence before shooting her and letting her suffer for 20 agonizing minutes before delivering a fatal shot. The same night, he ordered Dorothy Therese Cerny and James Schmidt, both 25, to share a last kiss before executing them both with shots to the back. For these horrific acts, Brisbon received a sentence of 1,000 to 3,000 years, the longest ever imposed in Illinois for murder at the time. He escaped the death penalty only because he was 17. Even within the confines of Stateville Penitentiary, Brisbon remained an unrepentant force of chaos and violence. His prison record was a testament to his incorrigible nature, accumulating over 40 disciplinary tickets and instigating a major riot in September 1979. He was involved in more than 15 attacks on both inmates and guards, solidifying his reputation as the worst inmate ever in the Illinois Corrections Department. It was during this period, on October 19, 1978, that Brisbon would commit the crime that brought him back to the death penalty's doorstep. Richard Hippie Morgan, a fellow inmate at Stateville, became Brisbon's next victim. The details of Morgan's stabbing death on October 19, 1978, are grim. Brisbon, true to his nature, saw this murder not as a consequence, but as an opportunity. He reportedly told guards, "You'll never get me on this case, and even if I'm found guilty, I'll kill again. Then you'll have another long trial, and then I'll do it again." This chilling declaration underscored his belief that further murders could indefinitely postpone his ultimate punishment. The murder of Richard Morgan inside Stateville was a brutal act that further cemented Brisbon's reputation as a cold-blooded killer, even among hardened criminals. It also ignited a fierce legal battle, as prosecutors sought to ensure that Brisbon would finally face the ultimate consequence for his escalating violence. The murder of Richard Morgan led to Brisbane's second death sentence. Will County State's Attorney Edward Petka famously described Brisbon as the single strongest argument for imposition of the death penalty, and a walking testimonial to why we should have the death penalty. His repeated acts of violence, both inside and outside prison, painted a clear picture of an individual beyond rehabilitation. Despite multiple appeals and legal maneuvers, the Illinois Supreme Court repeatedly upheld his death sentence. Yet the legal process was protracted, a testament to the very delays Brisbon sought to exploit. Henry Brisbon's life ended not in the electric chair he so defiantly challenged, but from natural causes in 2010, while still incarcerated. His death closed a chapter on one of Illinois' most notorious and remorseless criminals. The story of Henry Brisbon, the I-57 killer, and his victim Richard Hippie Morgan, remains a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity and the enduring quest for justice, even against those who believe themselves beyond its reach. 9 Secutor 9:30. Outro. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.